Hello, I am Matt in the Hat, and this is one of, if not the last session of Eberron Adventures. Depending on how many people actually can come and all of that, depending on how much we actually get through, it will either be this is the last session or it will be next session will be the last session. But we are heading towards the end, and just as a quick disclaimer, I'm not going to read out the official one, but we're adults and we might swear as we do this. We'll stumble over stuff, but that's okay. I have with me right now Corey, and he is playing Silas, and he's in a bit of a spot of bother. Do you want to quickly go over for our viewers what's happened to you and the conundrum that you are in right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I play a character which if you're watching this, I'm assuming you watched other sessions of this. But if it is the first session you're ever watching, I play I play a character named Silas Phoenix. He is a half wizard, half rogue type character. Kind of darty in and out, still be able to use spells. I went wizard because of Blade Singer, because I wanted to be able to use that. He is a very complex man. He's started out in a city called Sharn. If you're familiar with Eberron, that is in the southern area. And we went through some great adventures there. And he met a woman named Lana May. The two of them paid it off a lot with Silas trying to woo her, and had a wonderful time together. We've had some very awesome experiences. Again, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch some really good role play in there. So fast forward, we're now into a different city called Trolanport. He finds out from his mother, who he was summoned there from, that he is everything that he knew about himself was a lie for the most part. And he it changed him to his core. He was very dark when he came into Trolanport. Found out that is probably because of his father, who is also a very dark wizard. But has chosen to, well, I'm not going to say that choice right this moment. But he's been told about some new blade singing styles that might be out there, one in particular, and he was sent on a quest to get the proper dragon shards to make that so. And we went through the entire Wizard Tower, which they were most of the Wizard Tower that we were sent to find such things and other things that the other party members needed. And we were promptly led out. Well, we led ourselves out of the wizard castle. Silas, I believe, takes a few steps or something, not noticing, falls off the edge of a cliff, if I remember correctly, of some sort, not to his death, but maybe 10, 15, 20 feet, something like that. And upon hitting the ground is met with a woman from his past and also Lana's past, named Jessie, who he at that point knew to be a bit of a psychopath and non-verbal. But she spoke to him and asked him to make a choice between his life of darkness that he enjoyed so much, or for him to embrace the White Phoenix, if I'm saying that correctly. Matt, I'm sure will correct me if I'm not. And that is where we find Silas at this point.
Yeah, so Silas has actually fallen. Yeah, pretty good. Silas has actually fallen about 100 feet down to his unconsciousness. Yeah, and he felt like he was being pushed when he was falling. So he was on solid ground, and then he felt a shove against his back, at which time he sort of started falling, and he turned around and saw what he thought was Jesse, what looked like Jesse. Then he hit the ground, obviously, became unconscious, and is now seeing Jesse in his unconscious state. And so this is what you're seeing. It is, as far as you can tell, Jesse's form. However, because you're in like an unconscious dream kind of state right now, it's like so many movies that are like out of body experiences, right? So you don't feel your physical form around you. You sort of feel like it's a spirit. And you're seeing a physical form or a representation of a physical form that looks like Jessie, but you can't like reach out and touch her. And she's sort of surrounded.
And he definitely does
with this, like, it's not a glow as much as it's kind of like a blur around her. And so this is your situation. She is here, and she has given you this choice, which you've explained, between a life of darkness or a path of darkness and a path that leads to becoming this white phoenix, which you have heard so much about but still understand nothing about. So what do you want to do, and what do you want to say to Jesse at this time?
Okay, so he does exactly as you kind of did explain. He reaches out towards her to see if he's dreaming, or to see why it looks as if he's talking to a ghost or what she is. And he looks at her and goes, Jesse? Is that you?
The figure doesn't really have a change in poise or even in her face. Like there's not really a change, and the voice speaks and says, "That is the form that you see. That's the form that I have taken, but it is not who I am."
So then who are you? Because I would very much like to. And he's stammering over himself. You know what I mean? He's just, his eyes are deceiving him. He felt as if he fell. He doesn't know if he died. He doesn't know, you know what I mean? He's just in a place where he's just so confused and doesn't know what's going on. And he just looks at her and he goes, then who are you?
The voice speaks and says, "You could not possibly understand if I was even to try to explain. But in crude, mortal words, I suppose you might call me an oracle."
And he thinks back to his schooling, and he's heard that before. He knows a bit about what that would mean and what they are. And he takes a moment, and he goes, they're both very attractive, Oracle. You can understand.
The oracle speaks and says, "We do not have this mortal issue like you. We do not have such things as love and lust and attraction. We are different, and I understand your words, but I cannot feel them like you do. But I acknowledge that that's how you feel."
I fully understand. And he looks up Does he see anybody at the top of, can he see the top of the cliff?
You're
Or does
not
it just
in
look
the
like
physical world right
I'm not,
now.
okay. I'm not in the physical
So
world. Okay.
you are only seeing fuzz and a shape that's like hers and a shape that's like yours. But other than that, it's nonsensical. It's just fuzz.
So if I choose the phoenix form, I'm choosing the phoenix form.
The voice says, it is not a form that you choose. It is a way of life. You were born in a series of circumstances that many have debated over aeons. There was a prophecy a long while ago, and I believe, and I am one of few that believe, that you are the one to fulfill this prophecy. But you would not be choosing a form. You would be choosing a way of life. You would be choosing to not indulge in the shadow, in the murder, in whatever else it is that inspired you. Instead, you would be choosing a life of purity and of honor. Whatever you choose on this day, after we talk, and after it is understood exactly what you're choosing, because I will not accept just your words without confirmation. Once you have chosen, you will be reborn, and you will start upon that life that you have chosen.
So then what are the two choices there, Oracle? What are the ramifications of the two choices?
The prophecy was...
What is the ramification of the darkness? Because that feels so good some days.
The prophecy was that a human and an elf would make two children, twins, that one child would retain the elf and one child would retain the human, that one child would retain the magic and that one child would not. And we believe, I believe, I'm one of few that believe that you fulfill this prophecy. Further, the prophecy declares that one parent, despite their sneakiness, would be at heart good, and that one parent, despite their upbringing, would be at heart evil, and that their children would have the chance to choose, would have the chance to choose a life of evil or shadow and darkness and follow after that parent and bring about a new era upon the world of evil and darkness, or choose a life of good and live a pure life and swear to defeat the evil that the other parent was trying to accomplish. Not necessarily kill the parent, because it is not in our vision what might happen, but to stop the evil. In this case, your father, he has created a new species of undead. He has studied long and he abused your sister, of which you know well, and he has taken up residence in the Shadow Marches, and he is gathering together elf necromancers to perform a ritual to create an undead version of a mind flayer. This abomination would bring devastation to that area, and then the ramifications of that would mean that the nature of this continent would forever be changed. It would create a taint that would spread. And that taint would include murder and include pleasures of God knows how many kinds. And I cannot deny to you that there would be much pleasure in that. However, everything that you know, the people that you know, the good that you have seen in your life, your mother, your sister, they would pass away. They would be corrupted, perhaps for pleasure, but at a great cost. If you were to choose a life of purity, being reborn anew out into honor and respect, and try and push back that darkness, fight against that abomination, then it would be a life of hardship. Certainly there will be trials ahead, and it may not all be pleasurable. However, you will have a partner by your side, a partner who wishes for good, who would commit to you 100%. And you would have friends by your side, people who see the good in you even when things are dark. And you would struggle, but you would survive. And you would bring about I guess, and he or she pauses and says, it's not a period of freedom and peace and prosperity, but it's life. And isn't that worth it? And then coughs and sort of says, that is not my place to say. Excuse that. It is your place to choose. There is no right and no wrong. You must choose which path you tread and which prophecy you fulfill. A prophecy of amazing pleasures, but of darkness, or a prophecy of hardship, but of goodness.
And there seems to be what is maybe even an eternity of time, where there is no conversation between the entity and Silas. And he thinks back to his mother and his sister, and all that white, beautiful light shines upon him. But then he thinks of the idea of his father and the terrible things that he's done with some of the people he's met recently. And he shakes his head no. And he looks up at the form and says, the darkness is gone in me. And he says it this monotone. It's nothing, there's no feeling to it. The darkness is gone. I am and have seen too many signs that point me to this phoenix. This is my path. This is my destiny. And my choice is to perpetuate goodness and take on the mantle that is necessary to do that.
Before this scene resolves, I'm going to pause you in that spot and come back to you for a second. As
Absolutely.
this conversation ensues, Lana and Don and Brog and Shard and Kari are all standing and looking down upon what seems to be maybe a corpse of Silas. You have no idea. He's completely still. He's fallen from 100 feet and landed on his face.
Yeah, Lana's not standing. She's like freaking out, running over towards him. Just like, she's just like, arms kind of shoulder, like, oh my gosh. And, like, going, what the hell, Jesse? If she can make out the details of Jesse up on the cliff. Yeah.
He's dead, Jim. I mean, Lana.
The form of Jesse is no longer there. You saw it as Silas was falling, just as the picture of the crown picture showed, but you followed Silas because it's Silas. You followed him to the ground and saw him, and when you looked back up, she was no longer there.
Okay. Yeah, she's all right. Then she wouldn't say anything. She's like just eyeing over Silas as she is convinced that he is probably dead. Blood probably going everywhere, and just trying to clean him up and trying to wake him up, and
the ground is not all that bloody.
Okay, cool.
More than that, Silas is completely blanket white, and completely limp, like more limp than you've felt anyone in your life.
Okay.
There's just it's like lifting up someone without any bones in them.
Okay. Yeah. Lana's just a mess. She doesn't know what to do. She'd probably be screaming for Dawn, seeing if heal her. Him. I'm going to heal myself.
Wow. Be healed.
Oh, yeah, she pretty hysterical.
Nope, he's dead. He would have wanted it this way.
No, he can't. Looks over at future bride lady person. He's like, "Can you do anything about it?" And just freaking out.
But isn't that the person who pushed him off the cliff?
No, you can see.
Adela, though.
You can see that Adela is quite pale and shocked, like totally in shock at what's just happened. She can't speak properly. She's like stuttering. This is the first time that you've heard her stutter. Every time that she's spoken with eloquence and with studied like knowledge. This is the first time that she's had trouble, and you can see that there's like stricken emotion all over her face, and she keeps on trying to put her hand out like towards Silas, and then just pulls it back like it's been shocked, like she's been shocked, and like there's just no. She just you're not sure exactly what's going on for her, but you kind of would maybe feel a sense of kinship to a degree, but you also know Silas way more than she does. You've been with him for much longer. But you get the sense that perhaps she's never seen death or whatever this is up close like this. Like it's not in her experience.
And I guess through all that, Silas is still dead.
So what I would like to do is I would like you, as you're seeing him in this spot, describe to us a memory or a series of memories in a short amount of time that Lana sees in relation to Silas. Like what comes into her head? It's like that near-death experience, but it's in relation to someone else. So keep it short, but give us a snapshot of what you see.
Okay. I think just the immediate memories that kind of come to mind that really stand out is that there's the first day that she saw him went on. Of course, at the time it was like total, I'm going to take advantage of that guy, but still there's just something about it where it's like she saw him for the first time and there's that newness. And then the wedding cruise when he finally got her alone and whatnot, and for the first time kind of felt like, hey, here's someone who actually doesn't mind that I'm crazy. And then going into how he pushed her hard and like these annoyances where it's like it just seems like he was always hounding on her, trying to make her better, but yet that at the same time it's like he was trying to make her stronger and whatnot and more capable as a rogue, and like even to teach her magic, which she just never really caught on to, other than her little fireball, and it even goes into, she remembers, as dark as it was, there's just that feeling like he's the only one who understands her struggle. He's accepted it. He's okay with her even at her worst. When he brought her her first kill, and so like these things are kind of flashing, and like when it gets to that point where it's like, if he goes, what if she fails? What if she can't overcome this? Like, yeah, fail us, try it out, but if he's gone, there's like no one who'll accept her if she can't succeed in not killing people. And so there you go. Bloop, 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 bloop. Ball!
All right, so these are the things that you see just flashing before your eyes. So that happens. Does Don see anything? Is there anything that he's thinking right now? Any reaction from him?
I had a good one and I forgot it. It was
Oh no.
yeah. Dawn remembers. Shoot, I thought of a thing because I thought you might ask, and then I decided you weren't, so I forgot it.
I can give you a moment.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll have to take a moment to try to remember.
Alrighty.
It's not very important.
That's fine. All right. So we'll go back to.
I remember now.
He remembers. Yay! Oh, you have a hot seat.
Don remembers meeting Silas's mother with him, and it's not really going over so well. And he remembers having such a wonderful dinner party with Rick, Silas, and the others.
We outdrank them all.
Silas will always remember how he could outdrink me. I mean, I will always remember how Silas will remember the.
All right. That's good. All right. Those are the things that flash before your minds. Thank you for that. And we go back.
I will arrange for a true funeral. I will bring the dead wood, and you will fashion it into a raft, and we will set it adrift.
Okay. That's the thought that goes through your mind. So back with Silas. The voice will just like pause again for a few moments, and then it says, in order to continue, you must accept what you will become. In order to do this, accept the symbol that was given to you. And the figure puts her hand out, and in her hand, you see the wooden construction that Rin gave you, that is in the form of a white phoenix, which you gave away in the streets of Sharm. The figure holds it out and says, if you take this, you will keep this on you at all times, just like you have with that piece of string. And this will be your remembrance and your commitment to this path.
And he reaches his hand towards it and reaches his second hand towards it as well and cups his hands around the hand form and says, I never thought I'd see this again. I just thought it was a bauble from my rival. I can never take back what I did to that man. I can never take back the pain that I created for Lana.
The voice says, I have the power.
Oh, please do. She deserves him. He's much better than I. If you could reunite those two, that would be the happiest moment of my life. Because I will move on, and I'm going to follow the house of my mother, and I'm going to follow Adela and take up this task. Her and I together for the rest of our days.
This path
Please.
that I've spoken to you will be a difficult one. And this task will be no less difficult. You must, when you wake, confess what you have done. And at that point,
he said,
to her, to Lana. And then I will undo these things. This is the condition for honesty and purity
and
go hand in hand.
And I fully understand. And if she,
Lana, he
if
speaks
she
like
re-
over you, right? He says, Lana is an adult. Sort of, he says. And she will choose one way or another to accept you or to not. It is our belief, and stops for a second, my belief, that she will understand. But I cannot guarantee this. I can guarantee that your doings will be undone. But I cannot guarantee.
I understand. I have one question. I have one question for that oracle. If she is to attack me, am I to defend myself?
The oracle says,
I'm sorry, but the oracle should really be like, give him a look and be like, would you hit a pregnant woman?
The oracle says, I do not believe that you wish to
I kind of feel like I have it coming to me.
The oracle says, I do not believe you wish to harm her. I think...
Not anymore.
Pause for a moment and we'll say, there is another way. if she does indeed attack you, there is another way. And the form of the phoenix will begin to glow, and the oracle will say, if you clutch this to your heart, then you will no longer be visible to Lana. She will not be able to strike you, if that is her wish. And you may leave or return or do what you wish. It is not our concern. Give her time if that is what she needs. But you may hold that to your chest, and for every moment that you do, she will not be able to see you, nor will she be able to touch you.
And he shakes, he takes the phoenix from her hand and does just that. Holds it to his chest and says, I have made my choice. Please send me back.
The voice says, very well, and remember, this path will not be easy. And everything fades for you.
Mm-hmm.
Lana, you are standing over Silas, and his hands are like out, like he's fallen. And as you look at him, one of his hands doesn't twitch, it's not like he's coming to life or anything like that, but you notice something that you did not notice before. And his hand will sort of slide off an object. And you look down, and the object is the white phoenix that Rin gave him. And you do not recall him having that since Shan. You do not recall him holding that at all. In fact, you remember that he was completely dismissive of it, but his hand slides off it, and it's right there in physical proximity to you.
After looking at it with some confusion, she would reach a hand over and she would pick it up. Kind of her thought process being like, well, that's something of Ren's, and or like a reminder of Ren, and Silas obviously is dead, so it's like, well, I can have something.
Come on, Lana, his body's not even cold yet.
It is warm to the touch, and as you are holding it, it begins to thump. Boom, boom. Boom, boom.
Stop it!
Sorry.
I tried boom. Boom, boom.
She would I think after the first few weeks, she'd just kind of open her hand back up and just kind of why does it continue to thump? It's this should I be weirded out by this, or is there life in this? I think actually, as at first she's kind of startled, but as that thought of wait, is it alive? And there's this idea in her head, Silas, as she just talks to it. Don't know why I'm doing this, but Silas.
Until it looks over to you and just goes, what the hell are you doing?
Okay! Leave me alone!
Yes, dear, he's gone. Maybe it's best if you didn't look at him anymore.
She'll wrap her hand back around it and
you get this feeling of wrongness, like you should not be holding this.
Okay.
Like that this was not given to you, and that it should belong to the person that it was given to. It's just this feeling
Okay. I got a feeling. And she closed her hands back around it. and trying to figure out like, okay, how are we gonna get Silas back so we can take care of him and such, or at least give him proper send off, and she'll put the Phoenix back down where she found it, and she then go to pull out her portable hole, and thinking that's like we can get his body back or something like this might be an easier way to get him home if we need to give him a proper send off. So she'll be fiddling with that. And
Okay, so as you roll out the hole,
mummies.
the object that you've placed down next to Silas starts to be obscured because his hand is moving back over to the top of the item and is beginning to clutch the item.
Silas, she'll say once more and go back down next to him and just attentively, carefully put a hand out to like touch his hand, just to be like, and just that soft, just Silas.
His hand is like cold as ice, right?
She like looked at the others like, please tell me you all saw this. That you saw his hand move.
What? No, he's dead. He's dead, Lana. Lana, maybe you should come here and sit down for a minute. It's okay.
It's just I don't anymore. I don't.
The hand and the arm don't seem to, like, the hand stops moving as it clutches the object, and it's firmly in its grip. So if you tried to remove it, it wouldn't. And then the arm itself will begin to try to move towards Silas's heart. Silas is currently on his stomach and his hands are out. And so the arm itself is like moving along the ground towards his chest area.
Lana will attempt to roll him over as graciously as she humanly can in her small frame. Help!
And as you do roll him over, his arm feels heavy, but not because of his arm. His arm feels heavy, but because of the object as it sort of sits above his chest cavity.
Okay. Have you seen anything like this, Don? Like, what's happening? Why is this happening?
So is Lana the only one seeing him move?
No.
If you helped to roll over, you'd seen his arm go up to his chest cavity.
It depends how much you're paying attention, but like what is physically happening is physically happening, and not just for Lana, it's happening in reality.
Well, my first inclination is to yell zombie and strike him with my staff.
Well, he's dead now, Jim.
As you strike down, I'm guessing like around his chest area somewhere or something.
Hit him right in the face.
Right in the face. Bam. All right. So you strike him in the face, and the pale sheet white look on his face goes away, and it looks like flesh, which it didn't a second ago.
Okay.
So it looks like there's blood in his cheeks.
I just kind of look at Dawn, look back at Silas's hand still clutched to chest, or moving anywhere else, or any other signs, like is he breathing?
Well, the arm is moving slowly towards the chest, and it's getting heavier and heavier and heavier the closer it moves. So if you're anywhere near it, or if you're trying to hold his arm or whatever, you'll notice that the weight is getting crazy, like it's heavier and heavier and heavier.
Sure,
wizard sorcery must have infected his body and
what wizard
brought about the one we were just in, the wizard's tower.
Oh.
We just spent
Yeah.
a month
I
there.
gotcha.
Right.
That could be the only explanation for such a sorcery most foul.
So, as you're saying this and referring to this, Kari, you're saying the same thing, but you get a different thought in your head. There's something about this that's oddly familiar to you. You don't remember what, but you look down at this body that was pure sheet white, and you see the movements of the hand clasping this item, and then you see Don slap his face with the staff, and the blood come back into his cheeks. And you don't see any other movement, and the first thing that comes into your head, and you don't understand why it's there, but the first thing that comes into your head was the moment where you gave up your pact and you put that part of you aside, and the confusion and the pain and the weirdness of the new of who you really were dawned on you. That's the feeling that you're feeling as you're looking down at Silas. How are you reacting because of this?
He's just laying there, right? He looks comatose.
Yes, he did look pale, completely pale. He is not moving apart from what I've said, and only when the staff hit his face did it look like there was blood in it. That's the only, yeah.
And I did, so you know, Tina, I did choose the light side of the whole thing.
She will actually cast message to Silas, which is she just points at Silas and says, "Hey, are you there? Are you in there somewhere?"
You remember, Kari, the last time that you tried to speak to Silas's brain. You remember the first time that you tried. The first time that you tried, you got a message, right, that said, "This is Silas's brain. Blah, blah, blah. You know, good try, but it stopped." Right, so that's the first time. The second time was on the way to Trolanport, and you got this flash unexpectedly of him raving on about Rin, like stealing his love. But then it sort of got closed down again, right? So those are the two times you've experienced his brain. This time is completely different again. There is no message bank that you've reached. There is just this image. You only see an image. You don't hear a voice. You see this image, and the image that you see is of a white phoenix. You're muted.
Out of character, he saw that when my tome burned, didn't he? He saw the white phoenix, like he saw. Did you just see it, or did both of us see it? Way back when my tome.
He saw it. I don't think that you did, if I remember correctly.
That was just.
But he only saw it. He only saw it after, like, he saw it burn away the rest of the paper before he could read the rest.
Yeah, you told me that I was the only one that saw that.
Okay,
He
so
is.
yeah,
I see a flash of instead of no words, no mocking, but there is a white phoenix that it's basically my
yes.
ethereal brain.
Yeah, and Silas, you will hear Kari's voice in your head, but you're not able to respond right now. You don't know really what's happening. All you see is darkness around you, and you can't move any part of your body. Like, you can feel it, and you can hear people speaking around you, and you can hear movement perhaps, but you can't respond right now. And yeah, Kari, you only see this image. You don't hear anything.
Right on.
So is there anything else that you would like to do or say, Kari, before I go back to Lana or Don?
I don't know if I'd have enough time to be able to try casting Detect Magic and looking at them for a while.
Sure.
So
yeah.
I can do that while they go to their turn, so my character can be just looking at them.
Yeah.
If you want.
All right. Well, I'll feed you stuff as you sense it. So right now, you're in the process of concentrating to see what magic is there. So back to Lana and Don, or just Lana. So you can see that Kara is like casting spell. You're not sure what it is. So what's Lana doing? Like, she can feel his hand getting, or his arm getting heavier and heavier.
Yeah, if Stan's trying to go up, like, guide it up so, like, he can, maybe he's trying to get comfortable or something. I don't know. So help pull arm into resting position on his chest. So it's like so.
And as it sort of impacts what was Silas wearing when he went into the tower? Was he wearing armor of any kind, or robes or something, Silas? You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I got it. He certainly would have been wearing his regular regale. It looks very much like the picture does. You've all seen it, I'm sure. But yeah, he had on his normal stuff. It would have been he doesn't wear armor, so it's not true armor in a sense, you know what I mean? But it's it's definitely his clothing.
So all right, his hand would rest upon his chest, and you would see it burn away the layer of cloth that covers Silas's chest area where it impacts. And then as it does this, you hear a hooting, and Culver will fly from you have no idea where, and will just come and rest on Silas's shoulder, opposite his heart. So not on the left, it's on the right. And you know that Calver is a conjured creature, and that it doesn't exist outside of Silas being able to conjure it.
I don't think she know that fully, but she have that hunch. Like, you guys see, it's not a real bird, right? Just kind of like familiar. He summons, so it's not real, right? Well, but he's always summoned her. I don't know if that's the same. Like, don't you summon things, animals? Dawn, are they real? Like, can she be here if
well, what we do is completely different, whereas I'm pulling things from another plane of existence. Natural beauty. I have no idea what his owl is. I just assumed it was a regular owl.
He just summoned her. Kari? It's a yeah, because she's not all that intelligent about magic stuff. Like she for the longest time thought that it was a real owl, and then it's like a few times that's like she's died, like, oh, your poor owl. Wait, where'd it go? Like she's gone. And so
but the other thing that Nana might remember is that he once made a very stark white weasel as well.
Yeah, right. Can these creatures...
But clearly the owl was his favorite form.
Anyways, I don't know. This is a hard one for me to process for her, just because it doesn't really have an impact. Like she'll ask about it as she has, but if no one else seems to be have better understanding of magic than she does.
Well, Kari will sense a good deal of magic as Kala appears and lands, and the magic doesn't come from Calva. The magic comes from where the item has impacted Silas. Like it's almost emanating from his heart. It's because he's sort of and it's burned away the material, and you can now see Silas's flesh beneath, which is not being burned, but the material's burned away, and it seems like that's where the magic's coming from, and it's like conjuration magic. Like it's what summoning a familiar should be.
I guess if the clothes, like the material's burning away, like I was gonna be like, what the hell is going on? Like tries to like move hand away maybe, and like next is gonna be burning nose. And so she may attempt to pick up hand. Does the hand move, or is it too heavy for her to move?
The hand with the item. The hand, if you do not move the fingers, you cannot lift the hand off his chest. If you move his fingers and try and make him let go of the item, then you would be able to lift his hand off it, but the item will stay connected to where his heart is. But it's impossible to lift as long as he's clutching the item.
Yeah, Lana's gone to the others as the Hustarks are starting to really work up once again, just into like, what is happening? You guys should know what's going on. What is this?
Also, Kari, you get a fresh sensation of the pain of your rebirth, and Silas, you feel like fire is all over you. Like you're being burned alive. You get a sense that your flesh is not withering, but the pain of it is through your entire body. And as the pain courses through, anyone that's sort of even vaguely watching we'll see the chest start to rise as if there's oxygen entering into Silas's lungs.
He is alive. How is that even possible?
Silas? Silas?
I'd like to hear from Kari at this point, if that's okay.
Carrie is going to send another message to them. Not sure if it's getting to them, but she's pretty sure that message is going to work better than audio, like verbally speaking to him. She's going to send another telepathic message saying, if she can put the dots together, I'm going to make that assumption that she's putting the dots together, like, hey, he's going through what I went through like a little while ago. She's going to tell him, you'll get through this, Silas. You just have to find the light and reach for it.
And at that point, Silas will see light. This is the first sign of light in the darkness, Silas. You felt the pain, but you didn't see anything. And as soon as Carrie says, see the light and follow the light, you see the light.
Can I communicate back to her telepathically?
No, you're going to wake up first. So
Okay,
how this goes is that you see the light, maybe a couple of other things happen, and then you'll be able to narrate how you come out of the trance, I'll call it, your full self, but it's going to take a tiny little bit longer. So you can feel yourself emerging. There's a light that you can see as Carrie's speaking to you. Lana, you see his chest starting to rise, and Don sees that, and Kari sees that. Although, Kari, you're a bit overwhelmed a little bit with the feelings, because it's like, I know what this is. Yeah, you're sure you know what this is. And so your focus is kind of all on that, and less about his physical being. Yeah, what are you guys, Lana, how are you responding to this now?
The tears turn into tears of joy as she there's even more hope that he's alive. She would probably start smoothing his hair just to say, says, please wake up, please. She's just trying to be very gentle too, and
I don't know if he's gonna want to wake up after taking a fall.
Yeah, I think with this, she actually was that's like, Donald, just heal him, to help him. Like, oh my gosh.
Don't disturb. Carrie will suggest to Lana, it's like, he is finding himself. He'll be with us soon. And she's gonna like cancel the spell. She can't cope with that no more. So she's gonna stop looking at him with her etherical eye.
Yeah, because you were sharing in it, and you've done that once, and it was pretty brutal. And as you guys are reacting, obviously, his partner is just like, she's now like come over, and she's seeing him start to like what she considers would be breathing, and you can see that like there's just this rush of hope and emotion in her, and you can see that like she wasn't crying before, but she starts crying now, but you think it's tears of relief.
Carrie will
like, Lana want to be like, go away, bitch, but it's like, no, this is his.
Pussy.
No, I heard that.
But yeah, she just tries to ignore the elevator.
Hey guys.
She's just
Just to let you know, my connection's gotten really weird, and I just gotta reset the hangout. I'll be right back.
okay.
Carrie will stand and walk over to Lana and start rubbing her back gently, and she will start to explain to the group what is going on. Not that long ago, you may have remembered that I went through a thing. Dawn, she'll look at Dawn and remember her time spent as a deer. Or was it a deer? What was I? A goat? I don't even remember what I was. I turned into some animal for a second.
You were a sheep.
You were a sheep.
I was not. And she's going to say, I believe something very similar is happening with him. I wasn't aware he had a pact with anything, but there's a shift happening with Silas within him. He will probably be a little different when he wakes up.
All right, so when you say the words wake up or wakes up, Silas, you wake up. So you can narrate this,
Okay,
and
so
the others can react.
Fantastic. So the the thing you notice first is you see one out of his left eye, one single stream of tears coming out of his face, and that's the first real reaction that you see to him maybe being alive or waking up. And and he opens his eyes for the first time, and it's just like first thing in the morning. All that light comes in. All that reality comes back. All he sees is blue sky, if that's what's there, and clouds.
Freaking Lana's
He's looking
face
back and
covering
forth.
him.
Looking everywhere
Yeah.
else.
And then he realizes. And then he realizes that he was actually looking more in a downward direction, kind of forward rather than up. And then he does kind of turn his head up, and he sees her face. Hi.
Oh my gosh.
Hey. Hey.
You're back.
And you notice the tears have not stopped flowing from his left eye.
Yeah, Lana leans forward and she's like just going to flat out kiss him, but she's like, damn it! And so she just quickly goes right up to the forehead. Kisses the forehead!
So, Silas, we don't mean to concern you, but you may have had a small fall.
Lana at this would like laugh, punch. If John's anywhere near, she would punch his shoulder or leg or whatever. She's like, oh my gosh, let's not even talk about that. He's alive.
Well,
Oh my gosh.
First, let's go over some basics. I'd like you to count to 3, and then tell me your name.
Careful, they're hot.
My name is
Horseback
Silas
beard.
Phoenix.
Oh wait.
Ha, see?
And you're Treeman. And then he looks over and looks up and he sees Kari and he goes, "Hey, Kar."
Yeah, that's him.
And he looks up and goes, "You and I, we have to talk again."
Oh, okay.
And then he looks and he starts looking around and he's looking for Adela. Does he see her?
Rolls up.
Oh yeah. She's like trying to see into the clump of people.
Hi,
Yeah.
I know you guys have a history, but like I'm his betrothed. Like, hello.
No, and she can't see anything but the three of their faces, and looks up and says, Is she still here?" To Lana,
Who? Oh yeah, Adele.
because he can't see her.
Move back.
Now, can he move yet?
Yeah. You still, so instead of feeling a burning sensation, what you feel is like you've just like swam like 20 laps without stopping. You're throbbing.
Actually, I know that all too well. I used to be a swimmer when I was younger. And so I attempt to kind of lift my head, and it's a bit of a headache.
Mhm.
And I kind of close my eyes for a second, and I open them back up, and I'm assuming that Adela's standing there.
Yeah, you can see a look of
Hey.
relief, concern, surprise, a whole bunch of different things across her face.
And he lifts his hand and just kind of gives her a very cute little wave. I'm all right.
Lana would actually even scoot back. just to kind of give them.
And her hand would come up and be like,
Yeah.
she says, you okay? And her eyes will go up, and you'll follow where her eyes are looking, and you'll see the 100-foot cliff which you fell down.
Yeah, I've never I've never actually been better.
She will actually sit like
Any
kneel beside you, and like
Yeah.
she has this little pack that's got all of her instruments and stuff in it, and she'll go into that and she'll pull out like a little pitcher of water and a piece of cloth, and she'll dip in and she'll dab it on your forehead as if, you know, she's looking after a sick person, and she'll say, I thought I lost you.
You're not the only one. He forces his arm to raise up, and he touches her hands as she's wiping his forehead. We're gonna have the greatest life together, Adela. We're gonna have everything that the both of us have wanted since we have ever wanted things, probably. But it's not gonna be easy. But you need to give me.
She will.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
go
Can I
ahead.
finish? But you need to give me.
Yeah.
A little bit of time to have a conversation with that woman. And I'm not I'm not saying that to be rude, Delana, by any means. But she and I need to have a conversation about something that I did in my past. And I'm saying it's so quiet that maybe, unless they were very much trying to listen, that it's just between her and I.
Adela will nod.
Yeah. Just give me. I promise. And then he kind of groans. And I'd like to sit up if you will help me.
Everybody
well,
broken and you want to sit up?
She will help you sit up.
Chicken supplement.
I'm capable
and she will
of doing that?
Yeah, she will say, I think that's the truest thing that you've said to me to this day.
That is 100% the honest. And that is...
And you get a sense that
deception.
She knew that you weren't 100% on.
Yeah. And he sits up and he turns and looks at her and he says that was the influence of that man that is called my father.
Oh, man.
That is gone.
I felt that for a moment. We're going to say that was the
And
woman.
I'm very sorry that I tried to deceive you in any way, but it wasn't because of deception. It was because it's all I've known up until now, Adela. I promise to you that everything is different now. And can I flavor this a little bit? Do you mind? It's nothing major.
Go ahead.
His hair was already very blonde, but it's like stark white, like the oldest person you've ever seen in your life. You know what I mean? Just like white, devoid of color completely. And his skin looks whiter. Now you've clearly seen this man, Lana. You know what I mean? Adela hasn't, obviously, but you've clearly seen this man in every shape and size. It's and he turns to Lana and says, I promise to you that there is a conversation that will be had here in the very, very, very near future. But I need you to listen to what I'm telling you, because I can change what I did. And that's where he wants to leave that conversation. He doesn't want to have it right this second because he doesn't want to have it in front of everybody.
Yeah.
Because I think that is something that is
That's
just between the
actually
two of them.
Oh, you are setting things up so well. Change what he did. She's now festering on that. Change what he did.
Yeah. No, and he kind of, sits up. He kind of tries to scoot his feet underneath him a little bit to maybe even just get to a kneeling position. Mesmerized that he's even able to move after knowing that he just fell from there, and I'm pointing up. It's and is he able after a few moments of gathering himself to get up and be normal-ish, like to be able to stand and be fine?
You're a bit dizzy, sort of off your feet. But before you get up, I want to just give Don a little something here, because he's seen people heal before, and he knows the impact of someone falling from a stupidly high height. He knows that you shouldn't be alive right now, and he knows that you probably shouldn't have a set bone in your body, and maybe the others do too, but he knows probably more than anyone. And
Don's just happy.
Don, you see him sit up, right, to start off with, and what you notice is that there's no blood on the ground, and two, that he seems to be, although he's a bit slow, the bones and everything seem to be fine, and that doesn't. It's weird to you.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense at all.
What mortal being? No man could survive a fall like that. Or woman, you'll say.
It doesn't matter.
I'm not like every man.
Yes, but at what price?
Touche.
Now, did he said that outward where I could hear that, right?
Yes. Yeah, this is all talking.
Okay. Yeah. It's and he looks directly at Don and he says, "There will be no transaction between you and I. I've already made that transaction." And he seems different. You know what I mean? He seems more serene. He doesn't seem like that chaotic, let's figure out how to kill anything I can find. He doesn't, you know what I mean? That none of that is in there. That darkness that maybe you saw in his eyes is gone. You know what I mean? He already had very
Perhaps the soul is someone who's come to terms with having sold their soul.
You might think so, yeah.
So you're afraid that I've become a demon or something? That I sold my soul to somebody? Is that what you're afraid of, Don?
How else would you have survived such a fall?
That presumption, that would be me.
He just shakes his head
What, fall off a cliff too?
and says, "Do you want to know something, Truman? It's not always a question of why or how.
It's when.
Friend said here, I'm back. And I'm here. And I'm here to make everything that I can right. Because there's been things that have happened in my past that I'm very, very ashamed of. And
I think Lana's a lot more intrigued now because her head right now is racking for. Wait, why has he told me that he's really ashamed of? What is he trying to make right again? Everything seems so fine and dandy. Wait, is he talking about his father? But she's keeping quiet.
No, Lana. Your father.
And he continues on to say, it's just, I'm not here to impress you, Don. And then that's when he would, certainly get himself to his knees and stand up, give the biggest stretch you've seen any human being take in their lives. And just kind of put his arms around Adela, give her a huge, hug, if she'll let me kiss her.
Well, just before you do physical contact, your whole body is like pins and needles, right? As you're stretching. So it's like you've been at rest for weeks, and so like moving and everything, it's like everything was sort of set in place, and you have to stretch it out, and then it's like pins and needles because you're stretching everything out and making your muscles move again. So it's like that sensation
that when your hand falls asleep they'll feel.
Yeah. And then you're able to do whatever it is that you want to do physically, albeit that it's kind of maybe like a slightly older person. It takes just a little bit more time because there is pain in the joints. So it's not quite as fluid as Silas normally is, but it's starting to get better. And so it starts off really slow and measured and creaky, and then slowly just improves back to where you are normally.
Is Kava still on the ground?
When you stood up, would take flight until you were standing, and she would probably sit on a branch for a minute while you steadied yourself and went over and embraced Adela, and then after a minute, she would then come and land on you again, gingerly, trying not to. She obviously senses that you're not quite
exactly
right.
The same.
Yeah.
It's okay, girl. Come here. And she's, he starts singing to her as he would in Elven, calling her pretty bird, so on and so forth, saying her name. No, it's okay.
She's not responding how she usually does, Silas. Instead, like, she's looking at you, and you look at her and you see a deep pain in her eyes, something that you haven't really seen before. And she'll alight off your shoulder and go and then land, like fly down to the ground, and she will look up at you, and there is deep concern in Calva's eyes, something that you haven't really seen. And then like her eyes go wide, like as if there's like a shooting pain through her body. And before you can do anything, she just combusts, right? She just spontaneously just erupts in this white flame. And then and then there's just this pile of sort of gray dust or ash on the ground before your eyes, and then like just in the instant of that, like you get the emotion of this, and then you see movement in the ash.
He would very gingerly go over to where that pile of ash is, and again very gingerly, kind of fall down to his very gingerly fall down to his knees, and kind of put his fingers through the ash a little bit.
You brush your fingers through the ash, which are not hot at all, which seems like completely contradictory to how physics works.
Right.
And you brush the ash off, and you pick up an egg, and it is a lot bigger than what an owl egg should be. It is approximately the size of maybe an ostrich egg.
Okay. I was about to say the size of maybe an American football or a rugby ball or whatever.
Oh, not quite that big.
Not quite.
So it still
Not
fits,
quite that large.
Still fits in your hand. It's probably, I don't know, 4 to 5 inches.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 4 to 5 inches.
I pick it up and I very puzzledly look first at Lana, because she's the one that has been most in contact with Kalva. And puzzled, looks down at her, looks down at the egg.
Is that even real?
And he picked that up. He picked He picked it up with his right hand. And then he realizes that he has that symbol in his left hand, doesn't he?
Yep.
And he kind of opens them both up and looks back and forth.
Aw, snaps.
What is this? It's... And at that moment, he would like to... Does he remember every single thing that happened in that conversation?
Yeah.
Okay. He would very, very intently and very descriptive explain exactly what happened to him. I don't want to sit here and say all that. You know what I mean?
No, that's fine.
He and then say, Kava disappeared like a phoenix. Did you all see that?
It's kind of hard to miss a combustion.
Exploding for the very first time.
Oh my gosh, Steve.
And the ashes were almost cold when I touched them.
As Silas is speaking, Lana, you're looking at him and you're looking at the egg that he's holding up and saying, "Did you see that?" And you see something tapping on the egg from the inside of the egg. Like you can see movement, right? And what it looks like to you is nothing. Like it just looks like something's like tapping from the inside of the egg, and then you'll see a tiny hole appear, and you will see a spark, like flame, as something is trying to break the egg from the inside.
Silas, it might explode again. Something's breaking out, and like put the egg down so you don't lose a hand.
No. He takes the symbol, from his left hand and puts it into a pocket or a pouch or something, and kind of cups the egg within 2 hands, and turns it a bit to see where Lana was talking about, maybe because he didn't notice. And does he notice this as well at this point?
Yeah, you can see little sparks like flint and tinder.
Yeah.
As the hole continues to get bigger.
I do kind of set it into the ashes, and he has a very much like in the very first Jurassic Park moment, when he, when the first raptor is hatching, and he, encourages it, come on, it's okay, you can do it. And if a little piece breaks off, maybe he takes that little piece off for it, and
don't do that. I need to hatch on
so as you
he's seeing what he thinks he's seeing, isn't it?
Well, as you place it down, if you remove it from your hands, it'll completely stop activity. It'll be completely dormant. until you pick it back up again, when it will start to act again.
Until I pick it back up again. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, he would get frustrated when it stops moving, and does kind of put his hand onto it again, and then he feels like it's moving again. So he picks it up, he cups it in between both of his hands, and then that process happens. So, of encouragement, and again, if like little pieces break off, maybe taking it off of the the top of the bean. Is he starting to feel as if this is what he thinks it is?
Yeah. And it soon becomes
Okay.
evident to everyone that it is, because as it sort of breaks through the egg properly, the whole egg sort of just it erupts, right, in this sort of sweeping flame that sort of just engulfs the entire egg, and then there's this little white chick in there. I suppose it's big because of the size of the egg, but it's still a little chick. And everyone can see that it's definitely not an owl. Its neck is a lot longer. Its wings are a lot broader, and the fire in its eyes is unmistakable. This is a white phoenix.
Yeah. Wow. This is amazing. And he tries to pet it on the head a couple times. Does it take his advances?
Yeah.
And the second question is this: does it feel to him as if it's a familiar, or if it's a real phoenix?
It does not feel like a familiar.
Magically, does it feel?
No,
it does not feel like a familiar. Okay.
At all.
Okay. Wow. This is different, guys. This is not like Calva. I think this is a real phoenix.
So effectively, mechanically,
have you ever seen one before?
I just want to give you a heads up about what I'm doing mechanically. I am removing your Find Familiar spell from you, and I'm replacing Find Familiar with a proper phoenix who, when it dies, will return to ash and will basically be called back just as if you're casting Find Familiar. So it's effectively Find Familiar in fire form, but it's not a spell, it's a creature who is technically considered a companion.
Yeah, really cool. He old habits die hard, so he kind of, onto his left shoulder, he kind of puts it up there, and he kind of pats it on the head a couple times and sits him right there. And I'd like for this one to be male, personally, and he, it sets him, on his shoulder, and goes, we'll have to come up with a name for this one. The hell is that word? Yeah. And you say that word, and he just looked at you like, I don't even know what that means. We'll talk about that later. Don't we have to make our way back to Trolanport? And where is Brug?
Brug's here. He's just not. He's just like, I'm not dealing with this, and he sort of walked off.
Yeah. No, it's all good. He just hadn't seen him, so he's just like, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm just gonna, usually when there's something dramatic, Brug walks off anyway. He doesn't really engage in that sort of thing. And so, like, because he's not here,
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
just gonna default to what he's done every other time there's been a dramatic moment, which is just walk off. So,
And
yeah,
do his own thing. Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
but he'll come.
Absolutely.
And
So,
he'll support
you know,
Lana more than anything. Like he's there, and
right.
Yeah.
And again, you know what I mean? It's he kind of goes over to where he goes over to where Adela is. You know, kind of touching the Phoenix's head a couple times, you know, goes, This is amazing.
there's a look of amazement
I'm-
on her face. Like she doesn't really even know how to respond. She's just like her mouth is a bit agape, and she's just like I do that. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm right there. I'm right there with you. It's why don't we make our way back? And then he checks his pack. Does he still have the dragon shards? Is all that stuff there? Like, is all of his stuff there?
Yeah. Nothing is broken. Everything is there.
Nothing. Okay.
It's like you didn't
and
fall at all,
so
except you're still feeling an ache in your bones.
right.
Feeling.
How long was he out for? Like in
Um,
reality time?
I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
5-10 minutes. Okay, so it wasn't very long at all. All right. Yeah. I can. Don't be concerned by me. I will keep up. Let's make our way back to Trolanport, guys. It's where we need to touch base again, I believe. I'd certainly like to talk to my mother.
Yeah.
And you. And he and then that pause happens with that big breath. Then he goes, and you, and points to Lana. You I'm going to talk to on the way back.
Okay.
Because I want this over with before we get to Trolanport. So I'd like to just go directly into that, if you don't mind. You know, we started walking
Yeah.
or whatever, and
Yeah.
you know, I say to Della,
let
this
me-
is that moment that I need. So on and so forth.
Yeah. Let me take 2 seconds to ask Don and Carrie real quick. Is there anything that you guys want to say or do before we do like the him and Lana talking and then segue to Trolanport? So is there anything else that you guys want to do just so that we're not all on just one person or 2 people?
Chide Silas for helping his bird hatch. You're gonna make it weak. You'll make it weak. You do it no kindness. You did it no kindness. But that's all I got.
All right.
I don't understand you, Don. He says, "This is only acid roll."
I think it's a druid thing.
You got anything there, Tina?
Carrie will actually take to her wings and fly off. Well, not fly off, but she's flying around.
Yes, I was going to the bird ship myself.
Chase the bird down. Eat it. I'm the bigger bird. That means I eat you.
Yeah. So you can scout for the party being above them. So yeah, let's have the discussion between Lana and Silas, and then we'll skip to Trolanport.
Yep.
Lana quickly
Oh
rolls
my
up and
gosh.
packs away in the portable hole.
Corey feels like he's gonna throw up. Anyways, all right. So, all right. So, here goes. That's coming from Corey. So, so I know it's really vague, and you know you're my best friend, right?
I would hope so. Goodness. Been through enough. It's been.
Do you know that, Lana?
I would. Yes. Like. We've been through a bit.
And you know, yeah, more than any 2 people have even experienced in maybe a year's time.
You don't need
And you know that
anything to do with Adela. Like, don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay.
I wish this was something. I really wish this was something as easy to talk about as me and Adela.
There's okay.
And the tears
really
start to stream.
Like, what are we talking about then?
And the tears begin to stream from his face. I made a terrible decision since I've known you. A few, actually. There's no way in the world that you and I should have ever done those things we did to that girl. And I really take that back, and I'm sorry that I subjected you to that type of situation.
I kind of still am under control, but I don't hold it against you, so. She's like trying to think, like, did I forgive him for this?
I really thought I was helping you.
It felt like it.
I did it out of love, you know that.
Yeah. I would hope so anyways. Like, yeah, no, honestly, that was one of the biggest things that showed your love in your own way. Like, I wasn't exactly, definitely isn't something I'm proud of either, but it's with what I'm going through. It just, you didn't condemn me for this. These hands,
no, I
this
didn't.
mind that just says kill things, and so I don't.
But we enjoyed that, Lana.
Yeah.
We enjoyed that evening.
Yeah.
It was maybe up until these. This next thing I'm going to talk to you about was probably the most exciting evening I've ever had. And both of those evenings fall around the mortality of a person.
Okay, and she's like not trying to think like.
And she.
Did we kill a second person? So who's this other?
I think we only killed that person together.
Yeah.
But
like in her head, she's like, "Wait, who's this other person?" And she's like,
Yeah. Right. Because she would have no idea. It would make no sense to her. So, and you notice that he's built a bit of space, not to make it uncomfortable, but enough to make it maybe out of arm's reach. You know what I mean?
She's allowed space too, because it's a little bit of they're not really friendly, like they're not romantic or anything anymore, and so it's just kind of like, okay, and whatever this is, it's like, okay, he's uncomfortable, so like whatever's going on, hopefully he'll still. What other thing did we do together that he feels bad about?
Yeah. It's not. Did you say that out loud?
No, it's just.
Or was that in her head?
Yeah, that's her mind racing as she's trying to figure out.
That was in her head. Okay. Right. Gotcha.
Yep.
So, he'd look and say, "You were everything that you were the world to me, and maybe, like we've said, maybe this lifetime isn't the correct one for us. Maybe it's not. But I believe that you and I are connected and will be for the rest of our lives. And this life, and 50 others after this. So, what I'm going to tell you here was out of that love." What's that?
Oh, I was just saying she cracks a smile at that.
I'm sorry, I missed it. Yeah. And So, just please remember what I'm going to tell you was done out of that love.
Okay.
You remember the evening that the last night in Sharn?
Yeah. It's kind of hard to forget when Rin throws such a great party.
Yeah, it was glorious. And did it ever seem odd that I kind of turned that to you?
I guess it was abrupt, but I just no.
All right. I'm here. I'm gonna tell you you remember the whole story that he told you just a minute ago of being rebirthed, yada yada, having a choice between dark and light, yada yada.
Yeah.
Then there was none of this light. It was all that darkness. It was not. Sorry, I gotta do something. My TV's gonna turn off. Yeah. No turning off.
So
sorry, I just don't want to turn off. And she, and he goes, "Do you?" Okay, let's back up a little further than that. Remember when we went and murdered? Now that I look back on that, we murdered those women.
Yes, the hacks.
We murdered them.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you remember that I found a very interesting potion that I identified to be the inflict wounds? Do you remember that? And we figured it was used for torture or something.
Yeah, and you have those. Yeah. So, who would you use them on?
And he reaches in his pack. Nope. And he reaches in his pack and he pulls out 3 of them. You knew there were 6. And he throws them onto the ground in front of us, and they smash. And they smash all over the ground.
Shit! Like, oh my gosh, Silas! Like, okay. So.
Do you? Okay.
Where's the other 3?
So I got some information. Well, 3 of them are gone. And
who? Did you use them on?
I found a way in which. Hold on, please. It's more to a story than this than just singing that.
She's getting a little antsy now, it's kind of.
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. I got it. But it's he just looks and goes. That evening with Rin was the hardest decision I've ever made. Because I know that you don't know how. I know you don't know how Rin passed away, but I do.
She's smart enough to connect the dots with that kind of statement. That's just like, no. And she's like walking away.
I put all 3 of those potions in that bottle of wine, and I gave it to him because he was taking you away from me, Lana. He was taking you away from me, and all I wanted was you. And then all of this changed, and then he just starts bawling like it's uncontrollable. And if you want to hurt me, then you need to do that. But I am here to say what I did was wrong, and then I can take that back. And before you act, listen. Can
you hear yourself?
You listen. I know what I'm talking about because it's the truth, Lana. The statement here is this: is that as I said, he was going to take you away from me. He was going. That may be his baby, and he points at her belly. The long and the short is this: is I can fix that, Lana. I can fix that now. But
how? Just
I can bring him back, Lana. I can bring him back. And he begins and I walk towards her
No.
and put my
she
arms
won't.
around her.
No. If he tries to, like, if he forces it, she is pounding chest and just screaming at him, like, no, you can't bring him back. He's gone. Don't you lie to me like that. Just, yeah, she's all tears. If she can get away from him, she's running back towards the ship. She's very
No, and that's fine. How can I prove that to her, Matt?
What?
What do I have to do to make that happen?
What? In
Well, you said that I'd be able to bring her back.
You can't. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. You can't prove it because like until it happens, like, so she's gonna have to either accept it or not believe it. Like, you can't do anything in the now to show her that you can do that. You can tell her the encounter that you had with this being, and that the being said that it had the power, if you want to tell her that, but that's the only thing that you've got as backup right now.
Right. So as she starts to run away from me, at the top of his lungs, he screams to her, "Stop and listen."
She'll stop.
And
She will
then
not turn around.
he makes his way up to her. Yeah, and
She will not make eye contact
he's
with
very close to you. Right, he's very close to you, and he's behind you. Not to do anything weird, obviously. But he whispers in her ear every single thing the Oracle told him about this. Every single thing. We need to be patient, and this will happen. I need to go back, and I need to fix all of the wrongs that were made in my life. And this is the number one, baby.
No.
I am here and have been sent back to this existence to fix this world and to make
If that's
the
what you
darkness go away and fix the evil.
Silas, some things.
And he walks around to the front of her.
Some.
I can do this.
Some things
She
can't
can do this, the Oracle.
fixed. I don't know what you experienced when you fell. It's a damn miracle that you're alive. Don't talk to me. I hate you. And she will just go. She's not believing any lick of this at all.
And he lets her run. He lets her run away from him, and makes his way to Adela and tells her everything, every single thing that he ever has done wrong in his life.
Confession time. All right. Well, we'll fast forward.
Yeah.
I'm guessing just really quickly.
You know what I mean?
touch-
So on the way back, that's it.
Yeah. We'll touch on Lana for a second. Lana,
all of it. And
will
it's
you-
so transparent. Yeah.
yeah, will you, Lana, like you'll just not talk to Silas at all, I'm guessing? Are you going to separate yourself from the
Avoid
group?
him. She's actually going to kind of isolate herself from kind of the whole group.
Yeah.
I think if there's anyone that she might even say something to, like, I'm not sure. Not Don. Brug would freak out. Shard would freak out with that truth. Kari, there's a chance that she would reveal to Kari, just kind of like if she's like, dude, girl, what the F is wrong with you? Like, what happened? What did Silas say to you? And she'd be like, don't do anything.
I mean, yeah, Carrie is flying over the group, and she would probably see those two like drift apart and see Lana storm off. She's like, "Oh, what's this?" And she'd probably go investigate.
Yeah, it'd probably take her a little bit to come around, but she'd at some point probably tell Kari along trips like, I don't want to make a fuss about it. Or at least not right now. If anything is gonna come of it, I will deal with it in my own time. But Silas really killed Fred. Isn't that lovely? Now he's married to high society, and I'm just here with
Carrie's gonna like walk up to her. She's not gonna touch her or anything. She's like, "Can I admit something to you?" What? I never liked him.
Oh my God. I think all this whole demeanor just shatters as like this laugh erupts from her. She's like, oh my gosh. I thought for a moment you tried to convince me how much he loves me and I was gonna punch you or something, but oh god, thank you. Oh my gosh, and she'll just like go off like all the petty things she can think to say about him, like how she just wants to. I can't do it right now because damn him, he's too still. He'll see me coming, and I will figure out a way to get back at him.
I know a few people that are really good at arresting certain criminals that need to be taken care of. If you need me to, I can get a hold of those people for you.
Maybe. I'll keep that in mind.
Because murder doesn't justify murder in the court of the king.
No, I do not want to kill him. I want him to suffer. And that's too easy. I want him to hurt as I made him hurt, except without death to ease his pain.
Carrie's like, oh.
He'll just like start
My old friend.
crying again. And
All right. While you guys are off chatting and doing that, Don, you see a figure in the forest as you're heading back to Trolanport. You're only about an hour and a half out at this point. There's about an hour and a half more travel to go, and you're coming back a slightly different way than what you came, just because the lay of the land is a little bit easier. And you see a figure and you immediately recognize it through the trees. You see Kudaya, and she's standing on all four legs, and she's completely still in these trees. She doesn't move at all. She doesn't speak, nothing, but you definitely recognize that it's her. And she's just all alone, just randomly in the forest. You know that she came here for the druids to find out what was going on with this disease, whatever it was, but you'd lost track of her and whatever, and apparently this is where she is, or was the whole time.
Yeah, I'm listening. Donald, hail her. We have much to discuss.
All right, so she absolutely does not respond, does not move a muscle. She's completely like petrified, but not stone.
All right, then Donald approach Kudaya. Do you not hear me? Kudaya.
As you get close, you recognize that that her eyes are rolled back in her head. Other than that, it's exactly as you know, Kudaya. She looks exactly the same as normal, except there's little bits of webbing that are starting to appear over some of her skin.
Well, that's strange. Does Dawn recognize what might be the cause of this webbing?
Shard would, if Don does not, because Shard experienced people further along in the disease when he was looking after them on barracks duty, And so he would explain if Don didn't recognize it, that these are classic symptoms of being infected.
Oh, right. The lycanthropy thing.
Yep.
No, no. No, Kadaya, how could this have come to be? How long? Quick reminder to himself. How long until the next full moon? I believe we have maybe a day left.
We got a little bit longer than that. We did get through the tower really quickly because we managed to do the extra time thing. So there's about 16 days. And it's not the full moon that triggers these particular lycanthropes. The full moon actually doesn't have anything to do with it. As soon as the tower disappears, is the trigger. You know this because it was discovered as you were defeating it and stuff. But because it's slightly different to normal lycanthropy, well, very different to normal lycanthropy.
I'm pretty sure we determined that there wasn't any cure for it, right?
At this point, that's what you know. Like there wasn't anything found. You know that people were working on it in Trolanport, and you know that Reginald promised to look into it when you left him. And so at this point, until you get back to Trolanport, yeah, you know that there's nothing right now.
All right. It's going to be very little we can do here, but we must do what we can. It's going to be difficult transporting a centaur all the way up to Trolanport, however.
Well, there is Brug and Shard who could make a stretcher of sorts with large bits of wood and whatever that they would like, because they're not here. We can just narrate that between the two of them, they do it, even though, like, I mean, a horse weighs a lot, but between two very strapping D&D characters and the fact that we want the story to move on, they can manage. They'll be slow, but they'll manage.
The one time we need Lana to help us carry something, and she's not here.
How far out from Trolanport are we now?
When Kadaya is discovered, it's an hour and a half.
So yeah, we're almost
normal
home,
walking. It will take 3 hours for the boys.
Well, I thought you were.
No, that was at the start of the trek home. Fast forward, and so she's around. If you want her to follow a portable hole for let me know.
That conversation happened hours ago.
Days ago.
Yeah.
There's been tons of time of uncomfortableness between that.
Kind of like the running gag of not actually using Lana's hole.
That's fine.
Yeah, so if you want to package her up inside the hole, that is fine, and then she doesn't weigh anything, so.
I think he wants to do the wooden slide. He wants to do the hard way. He
Wooden
wants to do the
slide.
manly way.
Well, like I said, it takes double the amount of time. So instead of 1.5 hours, it's 3 hours. Like it's no big deal.
About as much time as it would take to run back to Lana, get her hole, and then come back and do it that way. So
Right?
Yeah.
Flip it here, Dawn.
All right, so so you guys, I'm gonna flip you over to Trolanport then. So you come through the forest and you're seeing the gates, and immediately anyone who would recognize Silas's sister, I'm not sure how many people have met her at this point, she is out on this side of the gates, so she's out of the city, and she looks like she's pacing backwards and forwards as if she's waiting for someone. And as soon as Silas comes through the trees, her eyes would light up, and she would like throw her arms up, and she'd like run from the gates towards the group.
Donald will throw his arms open and receive her with open arms. Give her a little half step. Darling, it's been too long.
What?
You didn't meet her. You didn't meet her. Remember, she wasn't there. She wasn't there when we went there, and you met my mother. No, it's all right. Yeah, because I tried to introduce you and she wasn't around. Hi.
You notice that
How you doing, sis?
she would have thrown one hand up because the other one is holding this big package, right? So she runs up and awkwardly throws her one arm around you, and she said, I've been looking for you for ages. I've got something.
Yeah, she never did it before.
Huh? Yeah, this is really weird. Like, she hasn't spoken to you properly. Like,
Ever.
and she's like, I've got something. I mean, it's not technically for you, but I had to find you because it's technically for Lana, and I know that Lana's with you, and so I had to find you. This man, he came to the house. He was really tall, and he had a really handsome friend. I kind of think that maybe, him and I, but I don't know. But anyway, the guy, he said he had something for Lana, and he gave me this, and he told me to find Lana, and I knew that Lana was with you, and I've been looking for you, and I've been and Mom, and she said that you went off and that you might not come back, and I was but you're here, and she's like gushing.
Yeah, and he puts his hand in her face, it kind of strokes it, and anybody that has ever been slightly romantic with even, I did that to Adela even, you know what I mean? And I just kind of, do that little thumb across the cheek, and I go, it's nice to meet you, sis. She
says, no, we met before. You remember,
very different before I left.
And I've got this package, and it was this man, and he had like a suit, and it was like a really, like, it was black suit, and his friend was like really cute, like really cute, but he said that I needed to give this to Lana, and I didn't know where else to find Lana, and so I had to find you, and wow. And she's like,
okay. I got it. Do I turn her? Is Lana behind me? Like, is she?
Lana's like head cocked, like just this. What the hell is this woman?
Yeah, and I know she's never met her, so I go, well, she's right there, and just points over to her.
And
she has nothing to do with it.
And sees who you are, Lana, and she like runs at you, like and she like throws her arm around. She said, "Oh, Lana," and she says, "Oh, Daniel's been looking for you, and he wanted me to give you a package, and I couldn't find you, and I knew that you were with Silas, and I did, but I thought that Silas might be gone, and I didn't know what to do, but Daniel gave me this, and here I'm finally giving it to you."
Yes, you are. Thank you. Who? And she'll like look at the package, like, is there a name on it, or?
Oh, his name was Danelle, and his friend was really cute. He was like, and I thought that he might, and me, and we might, but Danelle gave me the package, and now I found you, and now you got the package, and Silas is okay, and she looks back over to Silas, and she goes, "You're okay," and she like drops the package, and she like runs back at Silas and throws both arms around her, and starts like jabbering on again.
Yeah, it's okay. He only fell off a 100-foot cliff, but picks up package and looks for a name on it. Like, does it have her name? Does it like a return sender person? Like,
yeah, it's got Lana May on it, and there's like care of, the phoenixes or whatever. And at the very bottom, it says from Emily.
Seriously, no one's heard of an Emily. This is weird. She'll as like if people keep walking or not, she'll just kind of linger behind and slowly open up the peek and see what's like inside. This is fail.
We're not walking anywhere. As far as I'm concerned, I'm kind of standing there, arm over arm. Kind of like both arms over my sister and my future wife. He feels as if he knows what it is. Just waiting for this reaction.
Okay. Yolanda just kind of peek in just to kind of see like what is this anyways like.
So there's another container within the box, and you're not sure how you know, but you just, I don't know. There's something on it, and actually there's a writing on it, and it says refrigerated package. Do not defrost on it.
Okay. He's just like, it doesn't feel cold to her?
Not on the outside.
She'll open it up.
All right, so yeah, immediately there's like a waft of cold air that pours out, and that's sort of cold, like, yeah, just fog pours out of it. And you look on in, and you're seeing on ice this massive, what looks like some sort of body part, but you're not sure exactly what it is. It's like an organ of some sort, and it's like really, really big. It's like, really big. And then there's a couple of other really big body parts, and you're not sure exactly what they are, but they're all on ice.
Oh my God.
And then there's like a compartment that's not refrigerated, and you look in there, and there's a whole bunch of red scales that have been like packed in the side, and they're like the size of dinner plates, these scales, but they're scale shaped.
She will close this and be like, I need to find Fela. Like, that's the first person that comes to mind. Like, I need to find Fela. This is weird. Like, oh my gosh. Why was I just sending a bunch of scales and organs? She just looks at them like, I need to go. Like, oh my God. What? Oh my gosh.
So anyway, is it anyone else reacting to Silas's sister appearing and doing all these things and not shutting up as you walk towards the gates of Trolanport? Anything else that anyone else wants to do or say?
Carrie's literal thought is enjoy him while you have him, because he's going to disappear from the world for a very, very long time. But Carrie says and does nothing. She simply has her calm and pleasant demeanor she always does.
You said Danelle. Corey. Wow, I am going out of character. Silas. We met at Danelle that night before I think for the Wizard Tower, when we were getting kebabs, right?
Yep.
Forget Fela. She is off to that where she last saw him heading. Like, I think she saw him ducking into like Noble area or something. She is going to start scouting around and be like, right. But you know Danelle.
And just before she goes away, Isaac, I wasn't lying, Lana. And that's the last thing that he says to her at this moment.
She flips him off. And she's like, what the hell? Like,
yeah. He takes it. You know what I mean? He knows what he did. He takes it.
It's like, I have yet to see any truth to your words.
All right.
Other
So
than-
he would make his way.
Found an egg.
He would make his way with the two women to his mother's home, and
Okay.
that's where he would park himself.
all right. So you're going to the noble district. Lana's going to the trade district just before the noble district because the stand for the kebabs is sort of in the middle, like sort of on the edge of both of those places.
If she sees the kebab thing, she will kind of like walk, stop, run over there. Who's the guy that gives you money? Daniel, where can I find him? And it's just like that.
The guy like holds up his hands and he's like, what are you talking? He's really confronted, like, because you're just storming up to the thing and you're just like, oh, tell me this. He's like, what?
Signature.
Daniel, and he has a friend. They gave you some money, but didn't take any quests. By the way, can I get to them? Where can I find them? Thank you.
He just like he again puts his hands up and he's like, just take a deep breath. He says, okay, now the men that helped me, the Daniel, okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Now you're a friend. You're a friend? Like,
Yes, of course. I just yeah, I just don't know where he lives.
I can pass on a message for you. I just don't know you. I don't know. Like, I'll pass on a message that you're looking for him. Who can I say you are?
Lana, although I don't know if that really. What?
Lana. He writes it down. He grabs a sheet of parchment and is like, Lana, May, and he writes the time and he writes like a brief description of what you look like and says, once you.
Where he knows who I am, he gave me this package.
It says, okay, well, where are you staying? And you'll give him the name of the tavern that you're staying at, and he'll write it down, care of, blah, 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 tavern. And then I'll say, okay, I'm seeing him later on. He comes in every day. So I'll pass it on. And if he wants to, if he thinks that you're all good, he can decide to contact you.
Okay.
And then he'll make the kebabs for you, whatever you want. And
She'll take him and she's going to go find a spot to sit out front and just hang out. Just like find a table or something. Just, I will. He's going to come in later.
all right, so you'll do that. Don and Carrie, what are you guys doing as you come back into Trolanport? Is there anywhere you want to go? Is there anyone you want to speak to?
We'll go pester Reginald about if he's finished that cure or not.
Right, so you go back to Reginald and he'll say that he's had a breakthrough with knowledge of what could possibly help in this situation. He says that when combined with some dragon reagents that because he only had a small amount of them, that the plant, the god seed, does actually transform when in contact with dragon parts, and that he is pretty sure that it would be advantageous to visit that possibility. He doesn't know how effective it's going to be because he didn't have enough to test it, but he said that there's really positive possibilities.
What dragon parts? Like dragon scales? Say red dragon scales?
He says mostly it's going to be like liver and spleen, because it can filter other ingredients. I don't think scales are going to be helpful here, he says. but they're very valuable. But any dragon would do, he says. But yeah, red dragon would do. Like that's perfect. If do you happen to have them?
That's a good question. Hold that thought. Don's gonna hustle out and find Lana.
He'll relatively easily find Lana because she's out in the open in a trade district eating a kebab. So,
Lana, what's in that box?
You just see bits and pieces like the organs.
I know, but I didn't care then. I care now.
I care now. Now I have an idea of what might be in there.
She just kind of look at Don and be like, some sick joke, obviously. My God. Organs,
Dragon organs? Donna lean in.
God, I hope so. If they're organs, this would be really weird.
I'm gonna borrow this.
Wait, but I need.
Pull the box away from
I
Lana.
promise that if you run with it's I need that. I'm supposed to meet somebody here.
I need it more. Run away.
Although she's not really that pregnant. But no, she's. Wait, so when they were in the wizard place, did they age when they exit? Because how many days went by?
Real world.
In total, it was 26. 10 days passed while you're in the tower.
Mary wants to know if Lana's an extra month pregnant
No,
or an extra day pregnant.
Would she have noticed any change?
Not unless you want to narrate it. I wasn't going to add anything.
Okay.
It's basically an extra fortnight. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you want more stuff, then go for it.
Woohoo! No. All right. Anyways, she'll be like, ugh. Just sit here and hopefully see the guy and still get my answer. So, what was that? What was up with that package? What did you butcher? Anyways. Continue, Doc.
Okay. One second. Tina has to go. So thanks for joining us, Tina. And
Tina. Good
Austin's
luck.
here!
yeah, and Austin's sort of replacing Tina as he's had issues in real life. So thank you for coming and joining us after that emergency.
Unfortunately,
I had an old person just erupt at my door, just yelling at me. And I was like, what? He was just like, all of the water from whatever you were doing is now in my living room. And my fiance was taking a bath, and I was like, well, then.
How did that swimming pool project in your living room go?
That's awkward.
Luckily, I don't have to pay for it, so.
Yeah.
But I did have to work with the maintenance guy to fix everything. So we just took apart all the piping and redid it.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming after going through that ordeal. We do appreciate it.
I saw my phone like, hey, are you coming? And I'm like,
It's okay. It's okay.
Can't even answer.
Life happens. Life happens. Just appreciate you being here. We don't have that much longer in the session, but while you're here, really briefly, we've basically transitioned from the tower back to Trolanport. I basically put Brug on. I'm staying away from drama.
Drama between love.
That sounds a lot like Brug anyways, really.
Yeah, so
because there's a lot.
There's a lot of drama.
Brug does not care for your petty dramas.
This was not petty. This was not petty. But Lana's not telling me what made her pissed.
No, wait, but I'll tell Austin. I told her that I killed the Rin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah, there's been a
you
lot
know
of,
that's confessing to murder, right?
Yeah.
The only person that
I know. But go back and watch the session. There's a lot to it. It's not just confessing to murder. Yes.
People on. All right, so that's pretty much what's happened. There's been a lot of stuff in the middle. You and Shard have been put to work on the way back because Don found Kodaya, his friend, who's a centaur, and so you have made a stretcher with Shard to carry this centaur, who is quite heavy. You've taken a little bit longer to get back to Trolanport than it would normally have, but you've managed, albeit with difficulty. So you're coming back into Trolanport carrying a centaur, which you would deliver back to the Temple District where she can get some healing, and then you would obviously be exhausted from carrying someone.
I'm carrying a horse person.
A horse,
Yeah.
basically. And so
the horse before the carriage.
yeah, and so you're fairly exhausted, and plus all this drama has happened on the way, but you've gotten out of the tower, you've gotten pretty much all of the reagents that you know of, except for some dragon parts, which you're still looking for. You have no idea how to get them. You've dropped her off at the temple. Other stuff's going on. So this is where you can come in. As you drop her off in the temple district, there is a certain somebody that is in the temple district who might be joining us right now. 1 second.
You're also, as a note, you're quite robotic-y. I don't know if that's for anyone else, but
Right, I'll rejoin 1 second.
Yeah, I don't have the greatest internet. I thought it was me, but yeah, Matt, you're super
yeah,
robot right
I
now.
saw you bounce out, and I was like, "It's not you, buddy."
I have leave.
I love it was a box full of organs. It's like, what the hell is this?
It's really bizarre, is what it is. It's really fucking bizarre. It's awesome and amazing. You gotta. What's in the box?
No.
No,
God,
what
you guys are like a what's it called a game show where it's like you could win a boat or mystery box.
No, it's more like
And
7.
you're just sitting there like, what's in the box?
Guys, I can't leave anymore. Am I audible enough?
Oh, that's kind of strange.
Yeah.
Um,
You sound like a radio signal from like the other side of space of how I would view us meeting different life.
so
Yeah.
Hangouts has changed, so I can't leave without it stopping the broadcast.
Could I request you say war has changed?
War has changed.
Oh,
So,
you get why. Thank you.
as you drop Kodaya off, there is a certain somebody who just happens to be coming around the corner to see you. Enter.
A certain someone.
Yes.
I hesitate.
Burglars! Criminals!
Oh God! What the? How close is he when he just starts spastically yelling like an old person?
The throwing axe range?
This is awesome.
Oh, is he like 10 feet away? Is he? What do you think?
Within reach.
Brug jumps. And is, ah! You!
Oh, it's
Yelling at Brug. Why you do this?
Do you have my research, young lad? You're alive! Or did you just come all the way back after quitting?
Brug not quit. You quit. Quit yelling at Brug. Brug do fine. Brug find stupid book. Brug will produce the book.
Stupid! Do you not know this research?
No. Brug not read it.
Do you have my bell?
Do I have his
Or at
bell?
least my sword?
That I think I do, yeah. Not sure about a bell. But, yeah.
You don't have a bell, no.
But we went to the armory, so I assume we collected the goose stuffs in there. So, sword and book.
I was hoping to get my bell, but I do at least have my sword.
Brug sighs aspiratingly. Like, didn't just go through a tower that was about to get shunted into a different dimension and collected a book and a sword for a crazy old person.
Quick, lift me up and I'll show you. Up.
Puts on shoulder.
You're so comfy.
Shush.
Shush.
Those not words Brug wished to hear.
That is not something to say to your future father-in-law.
Brug looks at you very... What?
You'll find out soon enough. You'll find out.
Brug not want to find out. Brug think we put you down now.
Yes, Brug. So, my research, so he holds the book close to him. We were researching together different strains of lycanthropy. I was his intern, and he turned me down. The ruffian. He was crazy, I tell you. Crazy! Stole my research. He wanted to spread lycanthropy. I wanted to control it. And that is what this sword and my bell was for.
What bell do? Brug not find bell in tower.
No.
Many rooms.
It was my prize work. It only worked half the time anyway, but still, it was close. It could control the shift. It could temporarily reduce lycanthropy or accelerate if you rang it a bunch of times. Of course, it also produced mastication. Turns the book and it shows like different charts of different subjects that he put it through, and it measures the amount of spit that came out of the mouth in each of the files. Yes.
Why don't you make a bell to make people spit?
This sword is quite special. It's made of different alchemical reagents, including red dragon scales.
Brug is suddenly interested.
So it has generally speaking two effects. One, when you stab it into someone, it temporarily reduces lycanthropy. It was for a weapon for those who are far too gone to save. The second effect is that it... The second effect is much more interesting. I never quite figured it out, but it had an adverse reaction to druids. Something to do with nature, because of the primal nature of it. It tends to send things in a frenzy. So, like, plants would start growing. I stuck it... let's just say it accidentally got in the wrong place one time, and I found out about those side effects. So let's not go into that too much. But let's just say some weird things happen. But that's research for you. You'll learn soon enough, Grok.
Brug not want to be poked with sword. Brug.
You don't worry, it's not you who has been poked. You can keep my sword, by the way. It may come in handy. As long as you record and tell me what you do with it, whenever you get the chance.
Brug shrugs as he takes
he's far too gone, because I hear that it's going around nowadays. It makes
so you make sword that kills lycanthropes, but
no,
normal
not kill.
Sword kills lycanthropes.
Stun. You can stab even just an inch in, even so much as prick the finger, and it can temporarily reduce lycanthropy. It stops the spreading, at least.
Brug takes this dagger-sized weapon from this gnome, considering the size differences, and it's like, okay, just puts it through his belt.
Just remember, do not stab it into a druid, a succubus, or anything that's close to a treant, nymph, or other kind of fae. It tends to have interesting results. Your mileage may vary. I've only had to do it once in self-defense. It was not a pretty picture. We had to clean up the mess for 5 days.
Right. Stab lycanthrope, don't stab other stuff. Ugh.
And
Who makes
never said
sword
no.
that you don't stab things with?
You poke! Sword is for self-defense. Do you know nothing? All right, I guess you could just...
No, sword is tool. You kill with it, or you defend. Sword doesn't
What?
just...
This is
sword
defensive
doesn't
weapon.
defend. Shield defend.
This is defensive. It reduces the spread of lycanthropy. It doesn't necessarily get rid of the healing factor if they already have it. Do you catch my drift now, Brooke? Do you understand how important this research was? Until he stole it from me. Did you see him? Was he still alive?
No, everything look abandoned.
I see.
Maybe you take over tower.
No, I don't want to go back in there. Especially not after those mosquitoes. Whew. That last one that bit me, I've gotten boils in places that I can't even... Never mind.
Don't show Brug. Brug not want to see.
He scooches his butt on your shoulder.
Brug just takes you off and puts you down. Stop! Gross old person.
Anyway, I have great news. My daughter accepted your proposal.
Brug turns to leave.
Brock, come back!
Begins swiftly walking the other direction.
You must marry her! You wish to break
Lana,
a young girl's heart?
Brug accepts the drama. Where'd Lana go?
Brock!
Lana's in the trade market eating yummy kebab. A little shame when Brug finds her and she's like, I found these
Brug
here.
is just sprinting away from this crazy gnome that is trying
The
to
gnome
marry
is
Lana.
following him with flower laurels.
Come back! We have to plan your wedding!
Lana, save Brug! It's sprinting through the streets. Probably much to the amusement to just about anyone seeing this. Seeing as he is a large orc being chased by a gnome with flowers.
Yep, if you do manage to find her, you probably see her with some sticks, empty or naked sticks in front of her and smoking. And so, what you run from, Brug?
Brug hides behind Lana, which is really like if you've ever tried to hide behind like a curtain.
You hide from
It's
Brug?
about as effective.
Look, I know marriage can be scary, but you proposed and she accepted.
Brug, who are you hiding from? Who are you hiding from, Brug?
Brug points out the gnome. That!
Oh, hi again.
Hey! Hi again. Hello.
Yes.
I am here to acquire the husband for my daughter, my future son-in-law, who is behind you.
Brug, you didn't tell me.
Brug not told in the first place. Brug have no idea.
You accepted the book. Do you not know my family's history? The gnomes?
Brug don't even know you.
When you take a quest from a man, that is to accept as payment for marriage to his daughter. And you have been accepted. You have accomplished the quest. You are man enough for my bride.
That
Brug,
makes no sense. How you hire people to fix house? You can't just marry off all children to fix sink.
You don't need to fix my house. My house is far too small for you. We'll have to build you one.
what? How tall is your daughter? Because Brug's huge.
Oh, she's fine. She's rather tall. She's half dwarf.
Okay.
How long is her beard?
Sounds
Brug just sits on a crate and is just like,
Lana's
how
happy.
this happened to Brug.
Anyway, whenever Brock is stopped dilly-dallying,
Might be one of the bridesmaids.
Flower girl.
Brock, just meet me at the library. We'll sort out the arrangements.
That'll be too young.
You just wrap a laurel around your stomach.
Right.
I'm not sure his arms are long enough to do that.
Just meet me at the library. We'll sort out the arrangements. And also, don't forget to let me know what you do with that sword.
Uh-huh.
Goodbye, ruffians.
Criminals!
Brooke, what's her name?
Brooke not even know! This crazy old
Her
guy!
name is Delilah.
Lila. I know Lila.
You're about to.
Maybe Brooke become monk. Maybe they accept Brooke vows.
Brooke vows. What are Brooke vows? Anyways, hey,
Brooke wake up
Brooke,
and make him a
that's
go.
Bob Shop. You gotta go try it. They're good. I'm hungry. I'm gonna get some more. Lana we'll hop off and go order an armful to bring back for her and Brooke to eat. And the gnome guy if he wants to stick around.
We don't have an armful special.
All right, so meanwhile, back in the Phoenix household.
Do it again.
So back in the Phoenix household, what is happening?
Yeah, you know what I mean? He gets back there and he starts talking with his mother, so on and so forth, explains the incredible situation that happened. Again, info dump, but all of it, every single thing, Rin, everything. He is absolutely like Jim Carrey and Liar Liar. He can't do it. You know what I mean? He's just telling things you probably shouldn't even tell. You know what I mean? To anybody. But he feels as if he needs to get it all out there, confess all of his sins, so on and so forth. But then at the end of it, he would like to talk to his mother about having a dinner party because he remembers her being very good at that, and he would like to try to invite all of his friends to
that. Would Silas show Zara the dragon shards, both of them, or just
Absolutely.
one? Or
100%. Nope, 100% full disclosure of everything. He shows her every single thing that he can muster.
All right. So she will accept then only because they managed to help you, like they were the reason why you were able to bring the dragon shards back. So she would only accept for that reason.
Okay. Well, does she seem to be as different as I forgot what even my sister's name is. Don't take it the wrong way. I don't know my sister. I don't really know her.
In the same boat broke.
Her name is Sierra.
No.
Yeah, her name is Sierra, actually. But he would absolutely, he's very confused of why Sierra is so much different than he was before, but he just chalks it up to the fact of maybe the choice that he made. So, but does his mother seem as different?
Nope. Your mom seems exactly how she seemed all your life.
All my life? Okay. So what do you think of that, Mother? I think that
she... Yeah,
do you not
she's,
believe me?
Oh, she believes you. Like, it's fine. Like, but like I said, she doesn't trust your companions, but because they were the only reason why you succeeded, she will accept having them for a dinner party.
Except that blonde one.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not sure how this is gonna go.
Yeah. Well, no, and he even says, Lana has to come. She's my best friend, Mom.
She just shrugs and says, "Whatever. You invite who you want. I'll deal with it."
All right, so he would draft up a very formal invitation, that looks like a formal invitation, maybe even with the girl's help, and he will have Sierra deliver it to where he knows that they're staying, because he does not want to try to go over there at this point because he knows it's going to be a bad news, and he also wouldn't want to put Adela in that situation. He has the feeling that Sierra, being the messenger as she was before, would be received much better.
When you finish the document and you're finishing the very last stroke of your list, and there's a knock at the door, Sierra will go and see who it is.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. There's a knock at the door. Is that what you said? I'm sorry, it cut out for me there when you said that.
Yes. Sierra will go to see who it is.
Okay.
And she will call out,
and it is?
"Silas, it's for you."
The ever ambiguous you.
Oh, wonderful.
It's the guard.
He would look over to Adela's with him, I'm assuming. And he look over and go, who even knows I'm here besides the 8 of us? He just looks very confused. And he goes, okay. And he gets up and he kind of walks towards the door.
Okay. You get to the door and open it, and there in front of you is Rin.
Whoa, hey, buddy! And it's the nicest he has ever been to Rin, ever. You know what I mean? Literally, he's genuine. He's. What's up, buddy? How you doing? And he, goes down. Not to be rude, doesn't go to his knees or anything. Goes down to shake his hand, so on and so forth. Is he pleasant to Silas?
Rin looks up at you and he says, "Rin, no, you change
drastically, buddy. Yeah, like everything." And then, why don't you come in? There's quite the conversation I have for you. And then, as he's been doing to every single person he meets, he tells them everything. You know what I mean?
Rin will not come in. Rin says, Rin, be honest. Rin no like Zara."
Oh, sorry. Okay. And he goes, I have a idea for you, Rin. And here, I would like for you to do something. Right, I would like for you to, and he goes back over to the list and he writes Rin's name under the list as well. And then seals it, gives it to Sierra, and says, "Sierra, take this man with you. This is the man in question I was talking about, and deliver both him and this letter to the group. They're staying at such and such, yada yada. But please wait until you get confirmation, at least from Alana, that this has been received, please."
Rin says,
hey, Ren, why don't you make this a bit of a surprise? I think she'll be pleasant to see that.
Rin says,
"She ain't gonna be coming to a party, Rin, if she don't know Rin's gonna be there." And she's like, "What?" Anyways.
Rin says, you things changed. Rin, different than before, and because of you. And Rin need time to tell Lana himself. Okay? And he'll go to walk off.
Ooh. You done messed up, son.
I didn't
You
miss
don't
up shit.
say.
But anyways, that is your prerogative, Rin. But he does yell out again. She's staying at such and such.
Rin
She
knows.
loves you very much, Rin.
Rin knows that too.
By the way, Prague, do you want your mummified bodies are still in Lifeport?
By the way, I've got some mummified bodies in my hole.
Randomly asking that anyway.
That probably not healthy to keep it. Yeah, Brug, put him in cart with rest of bodies. I'm sure guard not care.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
And Silas would go back in, feeling as if he has fulfilled what he told the oracle that he would fulfill, and awaits for the reception of his invitation. And it's an open invitation. It's not like you have to be here this day, yada yada yada.
All right, so we've got that. We've got Prague. Don's found out stuff. If you do open the refrigerated containers, Don will be able to identify that they are indeed red dragon parts. There is a lot in there. There is 3 red dragon. There are 6 red dragon wormling gizzards and a red dragon heart, and there are red dragon livers, red dragon bladder, like everything's in there.
Who's opening this?
Don was gonna have a look to see what was in there, but Don knows the list as well, so he knows what the druids were after. So he'd be able to pass on the gizzards and the heart to you, knowing that they're not going to be useful to Reginald. So what's useful to Reginald is the liver and spleen, those sorts of things, which are in the on ice as well. So he's able to deliver those to Reginald and deliver what you need to you. So you've now got everything that you need. And on that note, so the druid reagents are now gathered. We now found out that Brug has been unknowingly promised to this strange gnome's daughter. We know that Reginald has developed a very high potential cure once we bring him back the dragon stuff. So hopefully he'll be able to cure the disease. We have the meeting between, like the dinner between all of the party to get through. We'll do that next time. We'll do the rest of Lana's story next time, because there's a few revelations still left, as Mary well knows. Mm-hmm. So we'll do those next time. As far as Don goes, we'll do the play out of his stuff next time as well. What else have I got to do next time? We've got to touch base with the rest of the NPCs. We'll do that next time. But at this point, we've gotten through the Wizard's Tower. We've got pretty much all of the stuff for a cure. We just need to synthesize it and apply it. We have Kurdia's body ready for that. We have the dragon shards. We have Rin, who's apparently back in his normal form. We have Kari, who's still going through her changes, but seems to be settling down. We have Silas, who has chosen a path of goodness and purity, and Adela, who has seen that he's changed and is more than willing to be with him for the rest of his life. We have the curious Jesse slash Oracle, who we know a little bit about. All of the strings and ties will be tied up next time. So I will get a final word from each of you, and then we'll finish this session for today. And next session will be the final session, where we will each get the chance to talk out what our characters decide to do for the next sort of year or the rest of their life or whatever. So have a think about between now and then how you want your character to spend their time. We do still have the foreseen scenes to go through, the drawings. So we will explain how those apply to you next time. Anything that hasn't been answered will be answered next time. But I'll go in whatever order you guys like, I guess. Let's have a final word from each of you before next time, and then we'll finish off and come back in 2 weeks for the final session. So, Don, I'll actually just go from left to right on my screen. Don, any final words from you?
Nope, making a cure out of dragon.
Yep.
With Reginald's assistance.
Yeah, you can definitely do that and definitely have a hand in that. Okay, Lana?
She would just insert that portion, like, by the way, what do you want to do with your bodies? To Brug. So.
Yep, so Brug will be able to answer that in a second.
Every time I sister.
So, Silas?
You thinking I shouldn't?
Yeah, no, he would just be embracing his new lifestyle, and going about and trying to find he's going to have some clothes tailored for him that look very similar, but they're going to be white and gold instead.
All right, and finally Brug.
Upon getting the bodies from Lana, and upon getting the parts from Dawn, Brug's going to decide, he does not know this girl that he is being being arranged marriage to. But you know what? Brug will be willing to meet her and to find out. And if it's not something that Brug really wants to get into, Brug won't. There won't really be anything that can stop him. But you know what? Maybe she'll be awesome. Maybe it'll be. Brug's willing to give love a shot, but duty comes first. Brug is gonna pack up the cart and start getting ready to head up to meet up with the druids for the grand resurrection ceremony,
which will also happen next time. So tune in next time for a whole bunch of tied up loose ends and the end of our Eberron campaign. Hopefully anyone watching has enjoyed watching, and we are looking forward to next time, and we'll be doing more stuff together after Eberron, either just parts of the group or whatever. So we're not completely disbanding. These characters are being retired for the moment. Maybe we'll come back to them, but we'll be doing more stuff together in different settings and different systems and things like that going forward. So we hope you can join us then. But for now, I'm going to say goodbye and chat with these guys off camera. So thank you, and bye for now.